when I'm listening, I lean back a little bit so I'm not like
breathing in.
You know what I mean?
Too big. Or 3 mouth breathers.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's good to get out of hand.
Lace up your chucks and pull up your panties. You're listening to Strong and Petty with Devin, Dave, and Tyler.
Are you a CPAP guy yet? Actually, are you recording? Okay.
I've been going off and on in the CPAP. Like Gian tells me that I need it, but honestly, like mine's a hand-me-down from my mom, so it doesn't work very well. So
Really?
it's not set to me.
Oh, okay.
So I just like sometimes I feel like I'm breathing worse with it, but my girlfriend says Gian says I really need it.
You would be a sleep study.
Well, when I'm sitting like if I'm just like watching TV, I could just like I start snoring like this. Yeah, like she asked me, she always has to check if I'm still awake. But
you snore when you're awake.
Yeah, just watching TV or whatever.
I've got a CPAP.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with it, but yeah.
How old are you now?
32 now, almost 33.
Okay. I was 31 when I got mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so lame.
What did you weigh?
260.
Yeah. See,
But I'm 5'11".
Yeah, that's
and I lie
exactly.
about that.
I used to be 5'11".
On your back?
No, I know for a fact. I swear, man. I remember I was 5'11", and now I'm like
And you dove off a roof
5'10"
head
and a
first?
quarter.
I'm actually
5'10".
getting taller, which is the crazy thing. I feel like I can make one of those like videos. It's just fixing my posture. That's all it is. But I can make one of those YouTube videos where it's like,
doctors hate this man.
yeah, like I grew 1.5 inches in 2 years in my 30s, and I can show you how kind of shit.
Episode 2, listen to Tyler's growing.
Yeah, because I'm 6'3.5" now, and I was 6'2" for my whole adult life.
That's insane.
Yeah, just from fixing my posture.
You've always been a bit of an enigma. When we met, you were like this handsome, fit wrestler, and every time I blink, it's like you put on 10 pounds. Like complete transformation.
That was like I was doing nothing right, nothing right. Like I was drinking.
I say yeah, like I'm like, oh, you're a
Is that
real
one of
piece of
those-
shit.
Yeah, no, but it's true though. I was like,
Is that one of those jokes where you say like 2 things I was told is lie and one is true?
yeah, handsome, good-looking
Fit
wrestler. I was
handsome
definitely a wrestler.
Definitely right.
But I was
No, you were like a pretty boy though.
Yeah, and
like
I
you
was-
kind of owned that.
I
too.
met you after that.
well, yeah, for sure, yeah, because I was
2017.
man, I was like drinking and partying and up all night and like not eating anything, and it was just like nothing that I was doing right should have been conducive to like getting bigger, but it was I don't know.
Yeah.
Something was working.
Although some of that stuff I think is conducive, not the best way, but it is conducive to getting bigger. Like
Well, what was the philosophy you guys had at the gym? And this was something that actually worked.
burger, fatter, stronger.
No, yeah, that was McDowell's diet he gave me. Like, I want to get strong was just eat 17 chocolate bars and die. But there was a thing where if we went out drinking the night before, we'd hit PRs the next morning.
That was Amo always doing that.
My theory with that is you're so miserable the next day. It's kind of like a form of self-harm.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I'm going to punish myself.
Yeah.
And you're willing to push those boundaries a little bit more because you literally like hate yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is we all showed up for training.
Yeah.
Like Saturdays at Stradbrook from like 12 to 4 were some of the best training sessions probably this province has ever seen. 10 or so guys.
Right.
Quinn, Jordan, and I doing powerlifting.
Yep.
We probably had 8 to 10 strongman guys from all different levels. And the environment was so electric.
Yeah. It was
like
different.
no one wanted to be the bitch.
Yeah.
No, oh, yeah.
And I was for a long time. That's just the role that I
Were you ever?
Yeah, for sure. But maybe we should do the intro before we get
I
too
had
far
left
into this.
before, that's why you were the new bitch.
Yeah. Somebody had to be.
Hi, you're listening to Strong and Petty. Welcome to 20 minutes ago. We're a brand new podcast. 3 old friends, 2 old lifters, and 1 young lifter. With a lot of stories, experience, and hopefully a little bit of knowledge to tell. My name is Dave Beakley, former, I guess, powerlifter. Now just trying to...
Former powerlifter, former drunkest bouncer in all of Winnipeg.
I was a good drunk bouncer. Oh, we can get into that later. Beside me is Devin Penner. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, Devin Penner, semi-retired amateur strongman extraordinaire. I guess I'd be the middle-aged one here.
Yeah.
Just a little bit about myself.
Tyler Sigurdson. I'm currently in the strongman game. Whether it's competing, I do that, or if it's organizing stuff with Devin, we're doing the Strongman Corp stuff, which is kind of a problem actually now, because if I was doing this podcast last year before I was like actually involved with Strongman Corp, I could be a lot more entertaining and have a lot more to say. But now I have to kind of like reel it in a little bit.
Now you're a pro.
Yeah, now I got to watch my mouth a little bit. But we are the two organizers for Strongman in Manitoba, and that's kind of our current gig right now when it comes to strength sports. And I own Iron Age Gym too.
I think what both you guys are doing for Strongman is incredible. And I think there was a period when we were all training. I say we, like I was doing anything. I did a couple shows, but there's a period where we were all training when it was really strong. And then I feel like it died off for a while.
Yeah, there are a couple bad years.
McDowell stopped competing. Wade skipped town. Ammo fell off the flat end of the earth.
Yeah. I got injured. I was out.
There was a bit of a lull.
Yeah.
And I think what you guys are doing now is incredible for strongmen.
Yeah, I mean, there was like a weird kind of dead period where
Which years were those?
2018, 19, 20, 21, maybe. Like it was a long, it was a pretty
Even
long stretch,
2017
honestly.
was only one comp.
Yeah, because in terms of in the city, like McDowell's was the only spot that was really like doing strongman, or at least was doing it worthwhile. So once that sort of went away, and even Midtown, like McDowell himself was less interested in strongman, and he was really the captain of the ship, right? So when we just needed someone to be willing to take up that role, and I wasn't ready yet. Like I wasn't knowledgeable or involved enough yet. And Devin was just kind of coming into his own too.
Yeah.
And within a year or two from that, we sort of found ourselves in a position where we were like, all right, like we can do this now. No one can come to us and be like, who the fuck are you guys?
Yeah.
When it comes to this, no one can come to us and be like, well, I'm actually the guy for strongman in Manitoba, because the guys who were that are done, and the guys who are trying to do strongman now have nowhere to do it. So I'm happy that we could kind of like supply a place, like whether it's training grounds in St. Malo for the rural guys, or us in Iron Age for the city guys. And just try to have it so it's it's just something there for people. Like it's a hobby sport. It's a niche sport for most people.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not fun if you have to travel 8 hours to go to Saskatoon to compete, when you're like, I'd love to do one just in Winnipeg. You know what I mean? So it's more fun that way for everybody.
But we used to have to do that.
I mean, I like it. I like traveling. Like I like doing that stuff.
Some of those road trips were fantastic.
Yeah.
But going to Regina, or I don't know if you've ever done. I don't know if either of you guys have ever done Duberville.
No, I never did.
No, and I was around in that time.
Oh, man.
I did Fort Francis Pro.
Okay, Fort Francis is great.
And I took last with a dominant performance.
You solidified last.
Yeah, there was me and Ben Thompson fought for. Maybe I did take second last. I forget, but we were fighting for the last spot together.
There's no way you guys weren't the two shortest guys in that competition.
Yeah, we were. Dude, it was horrible.
No way.
It was bad.
I did a Fort Francis show when I was kind of figuring out what my iron sport was. And, oh my goodness, his name just left.
Who, Luke Scarab?
Not Luke.
Like one of the guys from Ontario?
I think it's Dave something. No, he's from Minneapolis.
Dave Osland.
Oh, Dave Osland.
Osland.
Yeah. I got some
Competing against Dave
He's the
Osland.
world's strongest man competitor.
6'8".
Yeah.
And it hit me that it was not the right sport for me. And the thing that was my Achilles heel in strongman is what I love most about it. Is that, well, I guess now there is, but at the time, there were no weight classes.
Right.
It wasn't the world's strongest man at 242.
Right.
And it wasn't the world's strongest man at 275. It was strongman. It was the strongest guy in the parking lot that day.
That took me some warming up to for myself. Just, I mean,
the weight classes?
Because I'm a heavyweight. Right. Even when I was like my lightest competing, I was 260.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of been like, oh, well, you should be big to do the sport. And obviously that's a pretty narrow-minded view of it. I can understand that now. But at the time, I wanted everyone to be big and strong.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, you don't have to necessarily be 6'4" and 300 pounds to do this sport. Like now, there's more options and stuff. And
well,
I'm still coming around to the idea in some ways. But
I still feel the same though. Like I'm okay with the weight classes.
Yeah, of course.
Like I like the weight classes. Okay, but. Like I said to you, I was never. I mean, this year I won the Manitoba one, but I was never satisfied with any of my 105 kilogram wins because it wasn't an open win.
Well, that's the thing is that it shouldn't be a code to be shitty.
Yes.
If you're like, I've been doing 105 because I am a bitch, like that's not suitable or it's not good enough. And that was my issue with it, was that what people would be like, I'm doing lighter weight classes because I can't hang with the big guys.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a lot of guys now who can you look at the Isaac Mays. He's amazing, and he's a 105 guy. These guys are like, it used to be code for shitty. There'd be guys who were at the Winkler shows or whatever, where there would be all the heavyweight guys, and they'd be like, oh yeah, and this guy won the U105 category that I didn't even know was happening, and he's like, 180 pounds and got 0 in every event except for 1. You know what I mean? Like it was code for being shitty.
Sandor Bassa, I still chat with him on occasion. What is he's getting a matter if what is he 5'7", 5'6"?
Small, yeah.
Chiseled, massive guy, but he competed on all the shows, a bunch of them in the early 2010, 11, 12, and I was around there, and he did decent, but as soon as you did stone over bar at 56 inches, he had a shoulder thing or go off his head.
Fieldstone to platform in Winkler was my awakening.
Right.
Where I'm like, I'm putting this at face level, and other guys are putting it like
Dave Austin does just laps it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have to be significantly stronger just to complete the lightest stone.
Right.
Because I'm on my tippy toes, like I'm reaching for a cookie in the cookie jar.
Yep.
And I don't love the weight classes, but if they keep it up, it's 2, right?
No.
There's like,
Is there? Oh.
Strongman Corp, we've got, what do we got? We got
there's U80, U90, U105, U120, and then there's open.
That's the powerlifting.
Yeah, U120 is the other one, right?
U120 is,
It's pretty much the heavyweight guys. Oh, they're gonna hate me. The heavyweight guys weighing strong enough to play with guys like Tyler who wants their own weight category. So it's
We're
like,
in Bin
I'm
Laden's
260.
cave right now, so they have to come find you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the guys who want to be in heavyweight, but they're not quite. They don't think they're strong enough yet. They'll just quickly go onto that scapegoat there.
Yeah. So I didn't know there were that many, because that became my beef with powerlifting and turned me off the sport, is that everyone gets a trophy.
Right.
Like you can be a mediocre lifter, go to nationals and get second, and you're like, I got second, I got a silver medal, but you're second out of 2.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's these participation trophies where 4 or 5 weight classes are more than enough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And with strongman, I think 2, like 220 and under, 221 and over.
Yeah.
I think is plenty. And if you're 222 and you're like, well, it's not fair, get bigger.
Right.
Or get smaller. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's no room for this bitch assness of fair or not.
That's the way it was when we started. I remember showing up to McDonald's and I'm like, I don't know what it was, 230 at the time, maybe something like that. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do to gain weight, Chris? Like, how do I? And he threw me at like a king. You and him both did like a king size fucking Aero bar and a chopped coffee crisp bar, and then I think went and got fast food. You better eat that all in one sitting.
Yeah.
And then with the help of some dieting tips, I gained like 20 pounds in like 21 days. There was some serious water retention. I remember I didn't see you for 2 weeks. I showed up, and I was just like walking around, and my girl's like, "What the hell happened?" I'm like, oh, "You said gain weight, man."
Little Caesars Hot and Ready were my go-to when I had to pack weight on.
That was what I was using last year.
Oh, it's the best.
For Canadians, I was doing.
And you were eating a bowl of frickin' ice cream every night.
Yeah, because I would drive by Little Caesars on my way home from work, and then I would try to finish it earlier every time on my ride home. Like I would have a street.
Goals.
Yeah, like I would have a street where I'd be like, okay, I finished it by X street, so now I want to finish it X street earlier.
Amazing.
So you're like stacking them, eating them all at like one bite, like 3 at a time or whatever, and trying to make it happen. I just feel like shit every day when I got home. My girlfriend's there like, oh, it's so nice to see you, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, get away from me, so bloated and shitty.
Wendy's was another one. I had a hard time breaking 220 and maintaining it.
Yeah.
Every time I'd get to 220, it's like I would get sick and my body was trying to tell me like, you shouldn't be heavier than this.
Yeah.
And 3 nights a week, I would go to Wendy's. I'd get a crispy chicken combo, 2 bacon double cheeseburgers, and a Frosty. I'd legitimately, like no exaggeration, eat it in bed, roll over and go to sleep. And I got to like 235.
Slows the digestion process, I swear. Right?
You know what's funny that I remember was when we were at the old gym, there was a family that we used to train there, and they had their daughter who was like a big girl, and that's not really neither the here nor there thing, but she was like so adamantly opposed to making any changes in her life that would like improve her situation. I'm like, you know what I'm talking about?
Tell me after the show.
Yeah, it was husband and wife and their daughter. You'll know as soon as I say it afterwards. But anyway, she was like, well, you were kind of like trying to sit with her and be like, okay, like you're here, you're in the gym, you're 3 days a week, like you should be losing some weight, like this is what you like, that's what your goal is, whatever. So it's like, what are you doing that's like that might be stopping this? And then you found out that she would have a Slurpee every night before she went to bed. Like that was like her bedtime routine. And I remember you saying to her, you were like, that sounds like a strongman like secret cheat code to gain weight. Like that's
something
like,
I would say.
He's like, that's something that Dom would do to gain weight. Would be have a Slurpee before bed every fucking like. Are you insane?
Yeah.
And I mean, the only reason I say it is because she knew it was wrong too. She wasn't trying to be like, oh, I had no idea, but it was just like the strongman weight gain secrets are always like that's always like the funniest things about strongman now because it's like I mean it feels kind of dated now honestly like I don't think a lot of guys do it that way anymore.
No.
One of my guys make it to the top. You've seen this a million times. They'll make it to the top doing that diet.
Yeah.
They win a couple competitions. Then they suddenly change their diet, get leaner. You've seen some of the top guys do it, and suddenly, well, no, that's not healthy. This is the way you should be doing it. But then they kind of falter off from the top real quick when they do that.
Everyone.
This is the beginning of my character arc where I'm doing like the Mark Bell thing. Like in a couple of years
you start rapping on
well
Instagram?
you guys will be replaced by like super sexy Jack Black guys, and then this will be my podcast with them talking about like keto or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I'll alienate myself from all the powerlifting people and all the strength people that like me, and I'll just start talking about
If you start
stupid
jogging
bullshit.
down the street,
I'll get hair
you're not on this podcast anymore.
hair implants or whatever the fuck you do.
Tyler, you're 5 minutes late. Sorry, I jogged here. As he unvelcros his ankle weights. Training. Just you lifting weights. What got you into that?
You start with me.
Oh, either or.
Yeah. What did I start with? 2008. I would have started in the gym. So a little bit of detail here. I was what had happened there? Leading into 2008. I'll give you a little backstory on what got me into it. I was just recently married, actually, 2008, I think. 2012. Yeah, it's 15 years this year with the old ball and chain. I was married in August of 2000. Anyways, just for that, I had gotten a car dropped on me. We had lifted a car, a Volkswagen. There was 6, 7, or 8 of us, whatever it was. Flipped it on its side. Everybody let go but me, because no one said we're letting go. The damn thing fell on me, messed me up, surgeries. It separated my foot and stuff. I tried walking away. Of course, couldn't walk because nothing was held together anymore.
The chances are they said they were letting go, but you were talking.
Possibly, yeah. So I was in the hospital and whatever else.
And you're like, I'm never getting crushed by a car again. And you start fucking pumping iron.
I did the Winkler show. We had to flip a car, and I had like PTSD going off the car. I can't do this, man. It's gonna fall on me.
Bobby Boucher on it.
So we had. I had gotten injured, yada, yada, and I had gained 50 pounds in 3 months. Now, part of that's due to my buddy Kevin, because he was sick at the time, too. He was puking like 20 times a day. So it was something stupid, and they couldn't figure out why. So he was off work. I was on bed rest. So he would bring me DVDs and a tube of cookie dough on the daily. And I sat there eating cookie dough, and Danielle was there always helping me. She had to bathe me. We weren't even married at that point. Anyway, so that got me really depressed because I was fat. Add in some family shit with my personal side of my family, which you guys know more than most. Yeah, got married.
You were there for that.
Yeah, Teddy Bob's. That'll all come out.
Teddy Bob show. We'll talk about that.
And so then I remember coming home one day, and I had collectors calling me because I was injured for so long. And when they gave me the okay to start walking with 60 pounds of weight, they took off my cast. And okay, you can go walk 60 pounds of weight. I went and climbed ladders the next day because I was on verge of bankruptcy. Collectors calling. I had no money left. I was actually... I had like different accounts. I was hiding money in from the banks and from CRA and stuff just to keep things going.
About that.
Yeah. And I'm like, it was all legit. I filed all legit.
Delete.
Yeah. And
No,
we're just kidding. Anyway, so I came home one day. I was so depressed and I was fat and I was couldn't do anything. Couldn't walk properly. I was stuck in work boots 24/7 to be able to stabilize my foot enough and keep the swelling intact. And I just came home and I was crying on the living room floor. I literally was.
That's funny.
It's true though, right? Like,
you all fat, naked, crying
fat,
on the
naked
floor.
man, yeah. I think there's pictures of me on my Facebook, and it's
crying.
It's not pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Pictures of you crying on the floor.
That'd be pretty bad. But I looked at the wife, and I'm like, two options here. I'm like, A, I'm gonna blow my head off. I'm like, B, I get antidepressants, or C, I go to the gym. What do you mean gym? Like, I've been looking up shit on my. I think I had a flip phone, probably the Motorola Razr back then. I don't know if I had internet on that thing, but I'm like, the positive release of endorphins from exercise will help with depression. And I hate antidepressants. I've seen the negative sides of every doctor be like, no, oh, you're having a bad day? Fuck, here's some antidepressants. Take these for the next 6 months and be addicted. So I went to the gym. 2008, I started in St. Pierre Gym, just as a little hometown gym. Of course, you're embarrassed, right? First in the gym, this fat slob was just probably still crying when he got there.
Crying in the parking lot?
Yeah. Wiping my tears, which were all running into my rolls. And so embarrassed. I wear sweaters, like the typical, hey, I just started the gym. I'm too embarrassed to go to the gym thing. And then I have never left since. I went there 2008 till 2010. Well, actually, I was in St. Pierre Gym for 2008 till 19, I think. I ended up being on the board of directors there. It's a co-op gym in small town St. Pierre, Manitoba. I helped build their addition. I helped draw a lot of people in. Then I ended up coming to McDowell's 2010. Well, I was working out at the farm in Winkler, or in Altona, with Brent Ham. He got me into strong. Chris Reimer from Steinbeck actually asked me to go, and I went and met Brent there. And the first thing he made me do was a tire flip. So I'm still just as fat, right? Like, nothing's changing. And even though I went to the gym, I wouldn't dare look at the cardio section. I mean, my left eye might have while my right eye was looking at the weights, but I wasn't intentionally looking at it.
Yeah. Devin actually invented panoramic view.
I can literally stare at you guys and see both of you guys, no problem.
Can you see out of both eyes?
I can see out of both eyes. Like I said, if I'm looking at the camera, I can see the chair beside you and I can see the peach schnapps over there at the same time, but I can't focus them.
Whoa.
So whichever eye I choose to look out of,
yeah,
it focuses. I can choose which eye to focus.
It's kind of like a
superpower. I can't focus both.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Is,
I can't do that.
So if I'm annoyed at someone and they want to talk to me, I just look to my left eye to the left. My right eye will stay looking at it, but I'm actually paying attention to what's going on over here. So it is a superpower. But I've never done that. I've never put one eye on the wife and the other eye on her sister or something like that. I'd never cross that line.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm just just things you don't do, right?
Morals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, I'm all about morals.
High moral guy.
I never crossed a line in my life. So anyways, went to Brent's, did the strongman. He made me flip a tire. Whatever that stupid girl's tire he had in there was.
With the shitty tractor treads.
Yeah, you got
right?
all black, and
Yeah.
I flipped that thing. I think it made me do it 6 or 8 times the first time I ever tried it. And I'm just dry heaving. It's minus 35. We're sucking diesel fumes from that heater because that's all we had for heat, right? The dust every time you flipped from the chickens, whatever the hell was
You
in
had to
there.
pee through the hole in the wall.
Yes, we did.
And if you had to take a shit, my
dick wasn't long enough to reach through that hole. So I just kept pissing on the plywood, right?
Twice as wide, but not long.
Yeah, I was like, hopefully the stream makes it through.
Yeah.
But so I went to Strongman then, 2010. Then I met you guys all at the farm. Was switched to McDowell's gym at the time. It was still McDowell's gym. Before it was on River or Stradbrook, it was the old dungeon. I was training with the football kids.
In the garage there.
Yeah, so this would have been when Ammo and Josh Green at the time were still 12, 13, 14, or 14 years old, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Probably 14, I would think. So I don't think I was that much older than them. I started there anyways, and so I still have membership at St. Pierre because I worked in the city, so it was a matter of I just did both, right?
Yeah.
Competed 11, 12, went to Westerns. That was my first time at Westerns. Loved that shit. Then I remember sitting in the gym. I want to go for a max bench because I was a good bencher, and that's one thing I had. That's about all I had. And McDowell's was coaching me at the time. Well, coaching me. He sent me a workout once a week. But yeah. And I'm benching, and I'm like, okay, Chris, I'm going to go for max bench. And he says, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going for max bench. He's like, you're going to blow your shoulder out. No, you don't even know what you're talking about. He says, well, come see me after you've done your bench. Lo and behold, hit a 425 bench and blew my left shoulder. And I get up, like, Chris, I can't move my neck. And he's like, yeah, you tore your shoulder. He's like, I fucking told you so.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh. So that ended strongman for me. Because I needed surgery. I had 2 tears in it and stuff, and I couldn't move. We had a newborn. Yeah, I had a newborn daughter, and I couldn't even hold her. Couldn't even hold her. So that sucked, and I was a little bitter about that, but she bounced back. And so then I went to the dark side, got more depressed, and went into bodybuilding. So I figured, hey, you know what? I mean, if life's over, might as well show what little I've got, I guess.
Be sexy.
And it was. Yeah, and the thing is, with body, when you can have a great body, but you can't change. This doesn't change when you lose weight. No. It did, though, because I have a chin underneath the 3 I have. There's 1 if you lose enough weight. This beard gives me a false sense.
It's sunken in, and you can't fold laundry.
Yeah, because before it was just my lip connected to my tits. Yeah. And I was just trying to figure out why, right? So I went into bodybuilding because my best friend at the time, he's like, you can't dedicate to shit. You can't do a diet. You can't do nothing. I'm like, I'll show you. So I lost 75 pounds, and I made the stage.
I would have been like, I'll show you, and then a month I'd be like,
no,
you're right.
Stubborn,
I didn't do shit.
Ate white fish. I was on the Stairmaster an hour and a half a day. That's some depressing shit. Like if you're not suicidal, that'll.
Let's say you want to talk about crying on the fucking floor. Like that's what would do that to me.
45 minutes morning, 45 night. I was also working in the city, and I was in the process of buying into the company I now own half of, all while doing that whole bodybuilding prep. I was sleeping 4 hours, and I had to get up at 3:45 to make the whole schedule work. And I get to bed about 11:30 every night. I was just running on. I remember Darren Mailing from Freak Fitness. He was one helped me. He's a good friend of mine, and he's like, Devin, you're not gonna do well if you don't sleep. I'm like, well, there's not enough hours in the day left for me to do what I need to do. Yeah. So we're going to run at 4 to 5 hours, and then we're just going to...
You're like The Rock.
Yeah. Except...
You're exactly like The Rock, actually.
Except I'm not... We just don't have the same pigment of skin that seems to have great genetics.
You're exactly like The Rock.
Yeah,
You're exactly like The Rock.
Yeah. If The Rock were poor and had a nice beard, I'd be him. Anyway, so I did the bodybuilding thing. Of course, I didn't win because I didn't look that great. I mean, I was in condition, but I just didn't look great. Yeah. Quit that shit because I realized that is not for me. I don't look good in a banana hammock, and I still have that thing. I put it on actually.
Why?
Sometimes the wife wants role play, right? Like I want to be with the bodybuilder, but hey.
That's awesome.
That guy swears on it.
I'll tell you what.
No, I am
one
wearing
thing still fit perfect in that thing, but the rest of it didn't. I put it on last year. I think we were having a pool party at our place.
That's funny.
I just walked out in this banana hammock.
That's awesome.
You add in all the ass tattoos and everything. It's pretty good sight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I did the bodybuilding thing. Hated that. Went back to Strong in 2016 and 17. Went to Nationals. So the first cast of Nationals Canada ever had. Because we never had a Nationals in 2017. 16.
16, I think.
16 we did in Regina. And I made it there. I placed 8th. It wasn't that great. I didn't peak properly, which was my fault. But went to that, which is great. That was great finally having Nationals. That's kind of the start of Strongman in Canada. And it was.
Sorry, what year was that?
2016.
Okay.
So CASA was the first federation outside of whatever JF Caron and the guys in Quebec do, because they've always had their
amateur
own
federation.
Yeah, they've always Quebec's always had their own kind of federation that's high caliber. But
that's the one that I'm on now.
Yeah. It's really fucking went downhill the last couple of years. They just started accepting people from Manitoba. Yeah, obviously some of the guys in Quebec are getting old and retiring.
Yeah, all the Quebec guys are. Yeah, exactly. They already got all the Quebec guys pro cards. So now they have to give them to somebody else.
Yeah, look at that guy from Manitoba. So we did that, and that was kind of what kickstarted Strongman. And there was a lot of drama with cast that happened, and then they ended up folding, I think, last 2 years ago. But 16 did that, 17 went did Strongman. Again, finished the comp in Teaser's parking lot. That was a notorious one.
I forgot about the teaser.
Oh, man. No one showed up for heavyweight. There's a prime example. No one showed up for heavyweight, so I went up to, I was 250 at the time, or 245, and there was Drake, and there was Big Mike. At 320 pounds and 6 foot, whatever the hell Mike was.
Mike's like 6'6", 6'7", something
and Drake
like
is
that.
6'3", 6'4".
I think he's taller than me, so he must be 6'4".
6'5", so he was there, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go with these guys. I ended up placing second. I think I lost first by 1 point.
I think I MC'd that one.
You did.
Probably.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Probably.
That was a weird period where McDowell's was like really intertwined with teasers for a while. Like the gym was really intertwined with teasers. Like me and Dom were working at teasers, and they're like the owner's teaser's daughter was like coming and getting training at the gym, and it was just like it was the weird synergy.
It was right where the oil change place is now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we did that. I quit that. Then I went into boxing. Did Pan Am boxing. Trained for a heavyweight fight, did that 2019, I think, and I won that fight. Luckily, definitely didn't want to lose the fight. That was good. And then back to Strongman. So I mean, I've been now in the sport. I guess I started promoting Strongman 2018. 2018, I did the first show in Grunthal.
Yeah.
2019, the second one. I had great shows, and they gave me more money. 2020, obviously, whatever virus shit.
Yep.
And 21, and then, but that's when I really.
So how do you think the government handled the virus? Let's really dive in.
Yeah, with 2 year or 3 years retrospect on this, how do we feel about?
How do I put on my Donald Trump voice here? Maybe we'll avoid those topics. We'll see. Yeah. I think they handled it greatly, guys. I mean, it really, my southern country bush life. Didn't change a bit.
Weird.
Yeah. Weird how the only thing I did was I was able to acquire a significant amount of rifles. I'm like, man, like the world shut down and people just started selling me guns. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what's that? Moonshine and rifles? Yeah, man. It wasn't actually that bad for me. I don't like a lot of people. So that whole time wasn't too bad for me.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm a homebody. Like, we all know that. To get me out of my house is
Some
not...
type of body.
Yeah. Yeah, we call it a pair on stilts.
Dome body.
Like a home.
I mean, I got the pool at home, the bar, the hot tub, the beach volleyball, the gym. I got everything, right? Shops. I just built my whole place so I don't have to leave ever. Just have everybody. That's why you guys all come to my place.
Yeah.
Right now, I built the cabin. Come sledding at my place. You got extra
Settle
sleds.
down, Manson.
Yeah. They're not high-end stuff, guys. Like when I say I've got sleds, like 3 1974 Spitfire 340s, but...
That's it? That's terrible.
Yeah, he actually came sledding at my place.
I did go. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't ridden a snowmobile in probably 20 years, honestly.
Him and Jan's like, I'm not riding. I'm like, you're riding.
Yeah.
And Tyler's like, no, she has to ride. And she ended up, she was hilarious watching
She was that time of her life, honestly.
It was like this at first in the ditch. I'm like, is she gonna learn just to straighten the skis out or what?
Yeah.
It was just we're just darting everywhere. It looked like I was switching eyes. Just like, out of here. But anyways, yeah, I went into that, and then now we started promoting. So I went and bought a bunch of equipment up in 2019. It would have been from the lady up all the pulse equipment there. So now I would say I own a significant amount of the strongman equipment in Manitoba for competing. I own, which is great because I like having shit, and I like to I'm a bit of a control freak. Everybody knows. So it's nice to own it because it's also I'm also a guy who doesn't sell it. So when people are like, yeah, we got to put a strongman comp, Tyler's like, yeah, Devin, we're going to do it together because me and Tyler have teamed up on everything. But anybody else, I'm like, no, I'm not fucking giving you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I got in the gym. I'm still in training. Now I joined to do some jiu-jitsu stuff. I'm really enjoying that. Getting choked up by guys half my size. Fucking one guy choked me out with my gi the other day. And
So you'd be more of a bear than a twink.
yeah.
You like the little ones.
But a submissive bear.
Yeah, submissive bear.
Yeah.
That's really hot.
With the banana. Yeah. So that's a little bit how my gym journey started. That's where I'm at. I mean, now I own a gym now with the wife. A couple other businesses, right?
And that kind of started as a hobby.
That
wasn't supposed to be a business.
That was a home gym.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's build our home
gym in a bar.
If you see it now, like the idea that it was a home gym is fucking insane. Because it's like better than most commercial gyms.
So I waited.
If you're listening and you have like a half rack in your basement and maybe a York bench press,
sure,
that's what most of us call a home gym.
That's a home gym.
Panner's got I don't know, what is that?
Like commercial
12,000
EFS
square
stuff.
feet?
Yeah.
3,200.
3,200 square feet. Most of the best equipment.
Yeah.
Things that you cannot find anymore.
Yeah. I got that.
Inverse
The
curl. all
EFS
that
bench
shit.
with the Thompson fat pad.
Yeah.
Back attack.
That's a West Side bench. The West Side bench.
No, it's Elite Fitness.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was the West Side one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
but same idea. But
Same
yeah,
idea.
yeah. But
I've got the hip belt squat from Elite Fitness. Their chest supported roll from Elite Fitness.
Yeah.
I got the back attack from Sornex. I got
50 feet of turf.
70 feet.
70 feet of turf.
Yeah.
It's quite the home gym.
Yeah,
If,
one of the better home gyms in the province, probably.
Well, I had said when we built it, I'm like, I'm very fussy with the membership. So it's like, well, if you don't like the environment, you don't like me, then you're not at my gym. Yeah. Because I don't owe any money on this damn thing. Because I bought all this equipment off of people who either A, went bankrupt, or B, needed money, or I just capitalized on when somebody has money.
That's my strategy too, though, and mine's an actual business.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, then get the fuck out of my gym.
So mine's just been like, if you don't like me, then you're not here, and I don't need your money. Because the gym is a hobby. My companies in the city here are the ones that make me money. But I'm just fortunate enough to do that. But that's how I got into this whole thing.
So your strength as a business owner was your weakness as an employee.
Yeah.
I never want to posture like you worked for me, but
no, that's what it was. Yeah. No, that was a big deal for me getting involved in strengths. And like the business that I'm in now was working for you guys originally.
There's a certain brashness of you that I admire the heck out of, like 100%. And we've bounced together, and we've worked in gyms together.
Lived together.
There's a brashness of you that I admire the shit out of because I have the thoughts, but I don't have the follow through because I want to present myself in a certain manner. And you'll call a spade.
Yeah.
And I think as a business owner, you stay true to your morals, and that transfers a very powerful message to your members and to people that you turn away. And it creates a level of respect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always like, I'm very unapologetically myself.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that means. But I have clients that we would butt heads if we were to discuss like our private personal feelings on things, like whatever that might be. But I just opt not to do that stuff. But when it comes to like in the gym stuff, when it comes to like things that are like, I'm not talking training philosophies, but I'm talking about just like etiquette, when I'm talking about how things should be run in my mind or whatever. Yeah. Like I'm pretty unapologetic about that, and I find that when you are that way, which is something that I learned from you and McDole too. I know you say that you admire that about me, but something that I learned from you guys is just to do things the way that you want to do it, and right or wrong, it's going to appeal to people who are in that same mindset as you. Yeah. So we have a gym full of people that are all like, and I mean this is a good way, like they're all hard-headed, they all want to do something, they're all like goal-oriented and stuff, because that's the way that the way that I not portray myself, the way that I am. Yeah. And it just like appeals to the people that I want to have in my gym. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Devin said, he can kind of be, because it's his own place, he can be himself and whatever. And that's the same way that I am too, where me and my partner Swint in the gym, we're like very, very different people. And I think that you know that. Totally. And yeah. Like we're not, like really the gym is like the one thing that we have in common, I would say. We both have bulldogs and we both own a gym together, and that's pretty much what we have in common. Yeah. But that's like the unifying bond between us, is that we get along.
You don't watch Sleepless in Seattle.
I don't watch Friends all the time, and I don't watch like F1. Like that's like his big thing, whatever.
I never would have taken for that. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, he's a different guy than I am, and that's why it works well. Though honestly, is that like it wouldn't.
Probably the guy who suggested to watch 50 Shades of Grey with his wife.
Probably, yeah. It wouldn't work if it was me and Devin doing a gym together. Like if the way he runs his gym and the way that I run my gym is too similar. Yeah. So it wouldn't work. So
and I think that was a weakness for Chris and I.
Sure, it
Chris
could have
McDole,
been,
if you're listening, is that we were very much cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
And there's a strength in, if you're dealing with A, you can't turn around and go to B. You can't hear no from dad and turn around to mom and expect a yes, because Chris and I were like, this is what we're doing.
Right.
If you say this, then I'm also going to say this.
Yeah.
There's a strength to that, but there's also a great weakness, because
there's an inflexibility to it.
And, and we also had the same weaknesses, which weren't great for business all the time. Where you and Swint, which I love that you still call him that, you guys have very much good cop, bad cop, or nurture nature, where you can verbally kick someone's ass, and then he'll pat them on the back and make them feel good.
Right.
And I've heard a lot from people, a lot of really good things about the environment that you guys create.
Yeah.
But you're probably drawing two different people. So the people that wouldn't train with you will actually, whatever the word is, they'll gravitate towards Schwind.
Right.
Because the people, certain people with his personality, with how Schwind's a great guy, he's nice, he's easygoing, he's encouraging, right? And you're that too, like, but you're in a different way. Like, if you miss lift, you're gonna let a guy know. Schwind might be a little more soft for that, which is good, because the gym can cater to both people. Yeah. And because you both offer private training in the gym setting, you can target both demographics.
And I find that like the people that Swint brings in, no. The next thing I was gonna say was why I paused there, because I was gonna say that I rub off on them a little bit, which is like a weird way to put it, but I rub off on them a little bit, and then the people that I bring in,
that's frowned upon.
Who have, I know it's a bad idea in your gym, but the people that I come in, like they tend to have more of like a hardline attitude on things that like I do. And then his mentality is imprinted on them a little bit, where it's like, hey, why don't you, like, I know that Tyler says this guy's a pussy, but maybe you should listen to him because he knows what he's talking about, like some YouTube guy or whatever, you know what I mean? Which is very much imprinted on my head from McDole, where anything that I would show him, like, what about this guy? He's like, oh, that guy's a fucking pussy, don't listen to him. And I'd be like, okay.
There's no gray area.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, if it wasn't like a West Side guy or an EFS guy or like an old strongman guy.
Paul Quinn.
Yeah, or Paul Quinn, then it was like, fuck those guys. And then I was like, yeah, for sure, like that makes sense, fuck this guy. And then and that would be the end of the conversation. Yeah. And that's something that I do to a fault sometimes still too. And then Swint is much more like, why don't we hear what this guy has to say before we decide if he's a pussy or not?
Yeah. But that I've heard that from McDole. Yeah. You go to I remember. I can't even say what it was, but I forget. Anyways, I brought something up to him, and it was the same thing. Well, he's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, he seems pretty good. He's got a bunch of degrees, but no, he's dumb. You're the boss, man. What do I know, right?
So let's rewind all the way back. Just training, lifting weights.
What got you in there?
Yeah, so I stared going to Dakota.
I feel like you were a Dakota basement guy.
Yeah, I was. Me and my brother went to Dakota Community Center, and I went there with my friends from high school. And I went there since I was like 16. You know, the way that 16-year-olds do. Like, I had no guidance. I was always kind of like I wouldn't say resentful, but I was almost like, when I would see kids at McDonald's or wherever else kind of like assing off while they were training, because I mean their kids are going to do that, but I'd almost be like you motherfuckers don't even know. Like I would have loved to have somebody telling me what to do and how to do it and when to do it when I was 16, because I fucking I did what everyone else did. I just ran, I spun my tires and whatever, and I'm thankful for that time too. Like I wouldn't necessarily go back and change that. Curve. It is, and it's like I dropped weights on myself and I figured out what worked.
What you have now.
Yeah, exactly. Does, yeah. So I did that for a couple years there, and then I moved to St. Boniface, so that I would drive by McDonald's to go to work. I was working as like the secret security at Walmart. And I like loss prevention. Like you watch the guys shoplifting and then you fucking nab them. But I
never knew that about you.
Really, you didn't know that? Yeah,
I never knew that.
Yeah, you just catch kids shoplifting. And I never caught shit. That? Yeah. I never caught shit.
I know they have that.
Yeah.
I don't know the hard way, but I know they have that.
That's your half torn pants.
Yeah. I just knew that you could they had a DVD player in the back. The computer was a DVD player, so I watched the whole series of The Wire while I was working in there, and I didn't catch one kid stealing shit. Yeah. But I would drive by McDonald's, and I was like, that looks like a cool gym. Just from the sign, like I just didn't know. Like I'd only seen community centers, you know what I mean. I didn't really know about private gyms or the idea that there would be, or not like it wasn't a private gym, but like a locally owned gym, I should say.
Yeah.
And so when I went in there, it was pretty fucking mind blowing because the facility was huge. It was a huge gym. And it was just like there's like shit in there I'd never seen before, and there was people that I'd never seen at gyms before. Like there was like a really weird eclectic mix there of like there was some bodybuilding people and strongman and powerlifting and like a guy like Dom or whoever just they're lifting weights, and I was like, how, like this isn't even real. Like how could this be a real thing? So I started going there, and I was wrestling. So I've done pro wrestling. I'm kind of off and on with it right now, but I've done it for about 10 years.
Are you still involved?
Yeah, I recently have kind of started picking up some matches again here.
We can get into that. Yeah. We can get into another episode.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We got one coming up.
We got one coming up right away.
Yeah.
But I was like with the wrestling that I was doing came like a really, and I'm like whatever. I was like partying, like I was drinking, doing lots of drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a different period in my life than I'm certainly in now, whatever. But the lifting was like something that kind of anchored me a little bit, where I was like, I have to get bigger and stronger, and I have to be here. So I can't do it as much as I want to do. I still was fucking partying like crazy.
Yeah.
But I had to kind of like keep up with these guys, and I didn't want to be the one dude who's like getting smaller or weaker or whatever. You know what I mean? So that kind of like helped me to change my perspective on it a little bit. It took a few years of like, wraparound weekends in buddies' basements and stuff like that, whatever. Yeah. But eventually when I started doing strongman with Dom, because I was bouncing at Bar I with him, and he was like, why don't you just try this thing with me? I was like, okay. Yeah. That gave me something where I was like, no, I can't go out and party tonight because I'm training tomorrow morning with Dom. It
gave you some discipline.
Yeah, it gave me something that I had to, it gave me an accountability that I didn't have before because I was always training on my own.
What year was that?
2015, I think. 15 or 16. So I was like...
15.
Maybe 15.
Yeah.
So Dom was like, why don't you start training with me? Because Dom was a guy who was like, what's the way to put it? Like if you weren't giving a shit, he just wouldn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
So especially in the gym, like if you were like, I'm gonna give this thing a try, and he'd be like, okay, well now respect for you has gone up a little bit. Yeah. And I worked with the guy, so I wanted to keep it simple, whatever. And I liked lifting heavy and whatever, so I did it with him. I competed. So I started training with Dom, and then like 3 weeks later, I competed. I did like a novice show. And then
which show was that?
It was in Saskatoon. It was in a gym there called Synergy that it does like CrossFit now.
Yeah,
I think
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a cool show and it was fun and it went well and I was I kept.
But you were probably only like 230 then.
Yeah, probably about that actually.
Yeah.
So maybe 240. So I
so small.
I know. So I did well on that one, and then we went on to like I just was training with Dom, and like this like Dom training was like. You could only be Dom and do what he did. Like you can't. For me, it only worked. It was like I was getting like the beginner gains and stuff, whatever. But eventually, I had to kind of do my own thing. So that's when
we'll have to have him on a show.
Yeah.
Like I think Dom or Chris will be our first guest.
How that guy progressed in the gym to the level he did, blew any. It didn't even make any sense to me.
Yeah.
How he could do what he did and just
skyrocket.
Yeah.
And I love Dom to death. One of my favorite people that I met through the iron sports, but he is like he's a creature.
Yeah. There's no one else like him.
No one
For
else
better
like
or for
him.
worse,
And,
you know?
We'll fluff him when he's on the show. But sorry, go on.
And then I started getting more serious into the strongman stuff, and then I'm trying to think where that would have put me. So when McDole's closed and went to Midtown, me and you and McDole sort of and Dom all kind of had like a little falling out, like whether it was like a spoken thing or an unspoken thing, kind of. I don't think there was never like an argument or a fight or anything, but it was just like
time and a black space.
Yeah, it was just
we
was
didn't
just
know
weird.
when we were opening.
Yeah.
You needed to place the train. He needed to place the train.
Yeah.
Chris and I are just trying to open a frickin' business.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's as you both know,
Yeah.
maybe more you than you, no offense, but you open a home gym, 32,000 square feet, or 3,200.
Whoa. I'm not
But there's hurdles to opening a gym.
Right.
That at that time
We weren't trying to hear that.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to hear that there was stuff going on. We were trying to hear that you guys can train.
Yeah.
You were focused on your goal.
Exactly how you
and
want
why
to
aren't they
in this moment.
accommodating you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I had my first Pro-Am, which was War of the West at that one, and I fucking did shit. I did exactly where I should have been at that point, but I had been doing really well in shows up to that point, so I had a better, like a higher impression of where I should have been at that point. And I didn't do well. So I was pissed off, and I had a little bit of a debate as to what, like, I was, should have been qualified for this show, didn't get qualified, blah, blah, blah. So then I got myself in a little bitch mood about it, and I stopped doing strongman for a while because I was like, fuck this. I'll teach them. I'll just stop doing it, like as if anyone gives a shit. And
showed up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wow, like so we don't get your $50 registration anymore, like whatever, right? So I stopped for a while, and I really focused on wrestling though. That was kind of the thing that makes it not feel like a waste of time or a regret, was that I put a focus on wrestling, and I got to go to Germany a couple times, and like the Netherlands and China, like all on somebody else's dime. I was stayed there for a few months at a time each time. So it was like a really cool experience and a really cool time for me. So I don't have any kind of regrets for the time that I took off from strongman. But now that when COVID hit, there was no wrestling, there was no traveling, and I was
Don't want to be in China.
Don't want to be in China. I got back from China just before that. So I was. It was just a time for me to find something else to do. With wrestling was just really kind of I felt like I had reached a natural sort of end to where I didn't want to wait for 2 years, or I didn't know it was going to be 2 years at the time, but I just didn't want to wait for however long it might be. So
you didn't want to wait for 14 days to flatten the curve.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
That's what you were. Yeah, you were.
So I started doing something else. I started putting more of a focus on strongman, and then when we opened the gym, I was able to make that my main focus, and especially now that we had a business that I couldn't just be gone every weekend for wrestling, and then so with the gym, that's been my main focus, and I got my pro status last year at Western Canada Strongest Man. Went to Canada Strongest Man this year. Yeah. Had a blast there, and then now we're on to my first season as a pro this year.
Yeah. CSM, so exciting.
Yeah, so that was one of my long-term. So last year in one show I achieved.
Sorry, CSM Canada's Strongest Man. Sorry.
Yeah, for people who don't know.
Last year I achieved 3 goals in one show, which was I wanted to do Westerns, I wanted to get my pro status, and I wanted to do Canada's Strongest Man. So I did all 3 of those in one time by podiuming at Westerns and earning a spot at Canada's Strongest Man and earning my pro status in the same breath.
Now I'll say before we carry this on, I've been coaching for 16 years now, and
holy shit,
yeah, it's a long time. Two of my coaching quotes. I'm already going off what I just got 5 words into. 2 of my coaching quotes are, "I have tattoos older than you," or "I've been coaching longer than you've been alive." Mm-hmm. If someone wants to question something, and it's not valid. If you ask a question to get more intelligent, mm-hmm. I'll give you probably a very long-winded answer that you didn't want. Right. But if you're challenging me, the long and short of it is I've been coaching longer than you've been alive.
Right.
And I'm unapologetic about that. But in that time, I've had countless clients that I've become friends with, that I think the world of, that have gone on to do incredible things. But 2 of the people in this time that I was more excited about training, you, because I grew up such a wrestling nerd.
Oh yeah.
And you came in, and that's what you were originally training for.
Yeah, that was the original goal.
And you were, I think the best way to say it is on the radar for WWE.
Yeah, I would say that's probably,
Is that
that's appropriate? Yeah,
I was
was
putting it out of proportion or downplaying.
No, I wasn't like by no means were they offering me a contract, but I had been been in contact. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. So my coach ego was like, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it happens for him, because if it happens for him, that's the tail end of a dream for me.
Sure.
Because you were pursuing something that I never did. I didn't know how to do, and football just kind of led my path for years. And then the other was Rory, who also worked for us at the Stradbrook location. And I feel bad forgetting his last name, but he was a catcher, a baseball catcher at University of Winnipeg, and
Oh yeah. Roy, he worked there for a little bit too.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Those like baseball and wrestling are two of like my loves that I didn't pursue because I was so involved in something else. And being able to train an athlete in each of those sports was like an extension for me to be like, this is the best I can do in that sport, and I'm going to give these guys more than what they ask for, more than what they pay for. I want to see them succeed because a small piece of their success will be for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you'll always go down for me as long as I coach, and my stuff's pretty general public now, which I'm really enjoying. But you'll always go down for me as like one of the athletes I was most excited to train.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I'm glad you gave up millions in wrestling WWE to be a non-paid pro streamer.
Yeah, I made the right choice for sure.
Yeah.
And a non-paying podcast host.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
This is literally costing us money.
I don't think John Cena has a podcast.
No, I don't think
You'll
he does.
always have that
No,
on
I
him.
don't think he does.
Yeah. Lots of people even say he isn't even there.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah,
Man.
you can't see him.
Yeah.
Training for me,
Yeah. Where in the 80s did you start training?
early 80s. I watched Teen Wolf and I wanted to surf on a van.
Muscle Beach.
No, you know what's funny is
Like after you met Kurt Cobain. Then where did it,
if I met Kurt Cobain, we probably would have followed the same fate. We're gonna have to start a third podcast for that if I'm around for it. No, you know what happened was in high school, believe it or not, I was a above average defensive back and receiver in football, and my goal was to play in the CFL, like a lot of high school football players. And going into grade 12, our offensive line coach Jay Campbell kind of approached me, and he was like, you express these dreams, you want to do these things, what are you doing to achieve them? I'm like, oh, I'm good at football. That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
can you not tell what I'm doing?
Yeah. And he
I'm
was
7
like,
concussions deep. Yeah. Can you not tell?
in high school I might have been that deep, but he's like, yeah, you're good, but everyone that goes to university is good. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, if you go to university with this body, you'll get your ass kicked. And it was the first person in my athletic life that ever kind of gave it to me straight of like, you're fucking dreaming. And so I was like, okay. And he's like, meet me at the Y tomorrow at 6. I'm like, wow, there's 2 6s? I know the one I have dinner at. But I bussed to the South Y, and I met him, and he trained me for a semester of school, and I met him there 4 times a week, and God bless him. He never asked me for anything. He just took me under his wing. I didn't even play the position he coached. He just took me under his
This wasn't that football coach from
Not
Churchill,
that
was it?
football coach. No, he,
Which wing you take me under?
his bat wing.
Surprised not coach out a kangaroo pouch.
Ironically, he was one of my high school coaches, though.
Yeah, I know he's a lot of people's high school
Yeah.
coaches.
Yeah,
He didn't give it to you straight.
I never got in his hot tub, so
I always make fun of Deloli for that too, because he was like cut from the team. Yeah, and I was like, oh, he must have been ugly. He must have been an ugly young man.
You know what's funny about that though is I know a lot of guys who played for him.
Yeah.
And we've had conversations where we're joking, but there's an element of like, well, why not me? But that's
You're not
I'm
manipulative.
hot, like,
You're not plane crash survivors, guys.
yeah.
But all the guys I know that we joke about that and ask that, we're strong individuals mentally.
Yeah.
And that's not who he preyed on.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he picked guys that would go to your coach's house and go in his hot tub. Like,
right.
how weird is that? But the coach who worked never asked for anything from me. We'd show up at the gym, we'd work out. He'd go to his day job. I'd bust to school, and but part of me fell in love with the training because I'm growing, my body's changing, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting better at football. But there's like a side element of you have to give back. At the time, it was to your sport. At the time, my mentality was like, this guy's giving back to football. But as I got older, I'm like, I think part of training is giving back to training.
For sure. Yeah.
Like Dave Tate's big thing, right?
And we'll get into Dave Tate and my second question for this. But Jay Campbell is the one that was like, if you want to survive, you have to lift weights. And then because I didn't want to be a bitch in front of one of my coaches who's giving his free time to me,
right.
I could never quit.
Yeah.
I wanted to. There were moments where I'm like, I don't want to play university this bad.
Right.
Like, this is hell.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it because this guy is showing up for me, so I'm going to show up for him.
Right.
And I think I've carried that attitude my whole training life. And I think I train people with that attitude, which can rub some people the wrong way because not everyone has that attitude.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I will give you 100% of me. But if you don't give me 100% of you, I'll be very pissy with you.
Yeah.
And not everyone knows how to tap into 100% of them. And not everyone wants to. Some people just want to like feel good, or it's a social thing, or whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's what got me into training. And then when I moved west to play football, one of our guys, Charles Bazilowicz, got this program from the University of North Carolina. And I actually took it from him without him knowing. And I photocopied and printed the whole thing. And this is like pre-Amazon, pre-smartphone, pre-everything. Like, you had to like mail in to order stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I basically stole that book from him, and I read it start to finish, and started falling in love with the theory of training, which made me fall in love with training even more so.
Yeah.
And so that would have been like 17 years old, and fairly innocently just like, I just want to be the best football player I can be. But finding something that I'm extremely passionate about, sometimes to a fault, because I will write people off if they don't match my passion.
Yeah.
But that leads me into my kind of follow-up to this, is from lifting as an athlete, who as an individual or multiple people kind of inspired you to want to coach and give back to lifting? Because you already mentioned mine, and I will go on for days and episodes about this man. But who was the person that you're like, I want to follow you, your word, your training methods, and give back to.
Well, I was going to say, before we get into that, like what got you? Because we're going to get into that, but what got you from athlete to kinesiology to owning a gym to, like, where's your history and all that? Yeah, you're a football athlete. What brought you to that?
So
Before we get into that one, because that'll be a long-winded thing on its own.
Yeah.
Because we obviously have all people we look up to, between people you see on the internet, we've just read their stuff,
Yeah.
to the literature, to where we are, right?
So honestly, because of Coach Campbell, and what he did for me and how I felt it empowered me, I knew I wanted to give back, and I was either going to coach football, but I quickly, people were asking me questions in the gym.
Yeah.
And then when I moved out west, which was playing junior football before university, I'm bringing guys to the gym with me because I wanted someone to train with, but I'm kind of training them at the same time, and you see the camaraderie that it builds, and you're like, if I'm working my hardest and I can make my teammates work harder, then collectively we're better as a team.
Yep.
So that,
And that's the camaraderie of strength sports opposed to bodybuilding or that shit.
yeah.
That's the camaraderie that comes with it.
Yeah, that's a whole.
If we can collectively get better, I still want to beat you.
Yeah.
But if we can collectively get better, if we can work hard together, we're all going to get better.
Yeah. And I knew at like 19 I wanted to open a gym, and that's what I went to university to do. And then I was going into my CFL draft year, and I knew I had to do more than what I was doing. So I hired Chris McDowell.
Oh, okay.
To prep me for going into my final season of college football, and I couldn't afford to pay him, so I'm like, I'll vacuum the gym, I'll scrub toilets, I'll do anything to train here, and I started doing that. And him and I talking, and I must have been, I look back, I must have been such a pain in the ass, because we would be there like 12 hours a day, and then I'm like, Chris, what book are you reading?
Is he that much older than you?
He's 4
Legitimately?
years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Chris, what book are you reading? Chris, who are guys that you read? Chris, who are guys that you listen to? Yeah, and it was just like, man, like picking at him, and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, this guy probably just wanted to go home.
I asked him and you the same question when I was at McDowell's. Yep.
Yeah, and I would look at a book on his desk, and I'd write it down, and I'd order it, and that was just, then you start building relationships with people. I think my mindset has changed over the years, but I really wanted, I think all of us initially, we want to train athletes. It's so cool to train athletes.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you're not a coach yet, it sucks to train athletes.
That's not where you want to go with your
No, they're like the biggest handful,
If you want
and
true
we'll
happiness, just stick to general population.
yeah, we'll have a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
But you're like, I want to give people what I never had.
And you live through.
Yeah. And that really like fueled my passion. Even working for Chris, my goal was to have my own place. And then him and I really created like a very cool brothership, and a give and take, and you know, albeit a small one, sharing a brain. And you know, he would write a program down, and I'd understand it right away.
Yeah.
And he'd say something to a client, and I could regurgitate it to other clients. You know, and there's like a real strong brotherhood in the early days, where I know I realized, I hope he realized, or I feel like he realized, that we were stronger together than apart. So me opening my own place to compete with him, or us having a business partnership, we're stronger as business partners, and that got me into coaching.
All right. No, I just want to know how it all came full circle.
Yeah. But he really, if it weren't for Chris, you know, I like to think I would have opened my own gym, and Lord knows what would have become of that. But, you know, for a young guy who's 29 at the time, getting his own gym off the ground, letting a kid scrub his toilets, and like doing a favor to be like, I know you can't can't pay for your training, but you're showing that passion and whatnot. I'm going to give you a shot. And, that really got my foot in the door. And I mean, we still work together. We still collaborate on things. And, 16 years going on 17, it's incredible and very, very grateful for everything.
It's really hard to imagine Mitchell ever being 29 years old.
Yeah,
I know,
holy shit,
right?
yeah.
I can't even.
Oh,
Especially now without the beard.
I can't even picture that in my head.
You know what? Now that I've said all the nice things, very like,
Fuck that guy.
yeah, no, like just a goatee, no other facial hair, not even a mustache. Goatee, frosted tips. The guy was like 215 with like NFL receiver abs.
Wow.
Like,
Frosted tips.
I kid you not, and I'll have him confirm it on the show
He
one
had
day.
hair.
Yeah, well, there you go. Even that. Absolute pretty boy. He had the silver hoop earrings gauged.
Holy shit.
It was a completely different character. But it was the strongman thing.
Yeah.
When we used to all be outlaws, and it was like beards weren't cool yet, and tattoos weren't cool yet, and
Yeah.
and all this stuff, and having like a good power gut wasn't cool yet, and we're just like, well, you know what? We're going to Pancake House before we train. That's that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do we want for time on this one for these things?
We'll do 2 1-hour episodes.
Yeah, we're
Just keep rolling right from one to the other. Is that what
Yeah, we'll just run through and we'll find a break in the action.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to refresh their drinks, let's do it now.
I need to refresh.
Okay,
something.
yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll call this
let's
episode
go.
All right, so we're gonna call it there for the first one. This has been Strong and Petty, episode 1, with me, Tyler Sigurdson, Devin Penner, Dave Beakley, and follow us on Instagram at Strong and Petty.
Yep.
Make sure you keep your eyes open for the YouTube channel I think's coming up, and find the podcast on Spotify, Apple. You know all the stuff's fine. Where I'll find all the shit, and that's it.